Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America on YouTube, and Congressman J.D. Vance, he just gave a smackdown to CNN anchor Jake Tapper that he will not forget. Before we get started, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. Now, you guys may remember this week, or last week rather, Congressman Tim Burchett gave Erin Burnett kind of the same smackdown to her face when she was interrupting him, running cover, it seemed to appear to a lot of people, for Joe and Hunter Biden, the president and his son. And he told them, this is why your ratings are in the tank. Well, J.D. Vance was on there, and Jake Tapper was trying to insist that the Hunter Biden laptop story wasn't as suppressed on social media and in the media as, Vance was saying it was. And Vance, he gave him a history lesson. Let's take a look.
The concern is that he wouldn't stock his administration with the J.D. Vances of the world. He would stock them with individuals who would not be able to tell him no. One voice that I've heard people express concern about is a guy named Kash Patel. He was on the NSC. He served briefly as the chief of staff for the Pentagon. Here's what he had to say on Steve Bannon's podcast earlier this week.
We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. Yes, we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you.
So, look, I know Kash very well. Let me talk about what I think he was talking about, though I didn't see the full context of the clip, Jake. We know.
You sound like a University of Pennsylvania president.
We know. We know in 2020 that there were massive pieces of evidence that were suppressed by collusion between the national security state in this country and various. You're
talking about the Hunter Biden laptop.
The Hunter Biden laptop story.
It was out there.
The reason that it was suppressed on social media
for like a day or two on Twitter.
Jake, millions of Americans, there have been studies on this, didn't see that story, that would have seen it if there hadn't been that collusion between these technology companies and members of the media who had security clearances. These people were using the trust acquired over a lifetime of public service and lying to the American people
with Kash Patel.
in order. I agree that we need to look seriously at how there was collusion between members of the press and big technology companies and members of national security state. Jake, that's not journalism. It is not journalism to take your security clearance, lie to the American people, and then persuade the big technology companies to censor anti-Joe Biden stories. That's not journalism. That is cooperation between the government and journalism. It's the opposite.
Well, Donald Trump was president at the time that any censorship was going on, so nobody in government, any Biden people that were asking that were not in the government at the time. But I will just say, as somebody that tried to see the laptop, Rudy Giuliani wouldn't let us see the laptop. He wouldn't let us. So we weren't able to report on it because he wanted us just to go by his word.
Jake, I'm much less concerned about what you were reporting on and much more concerned about the fact that millions of Americans get their news through social media, and we know the FBI was working with the social media companies to censor a troubling story. Jake, when we talk about threats to democracy, that's crazy. The FBI encouraging private companies to censor journalists, that should really piss a lot of people off, you included.
These people want to rewrite history now that they're so wrong about that laptop, that it was Hunter's, that it is legitimate, and it was suppressed. He says a day or two, I was on all these platforms. You could not post it, and if you did, it was suppressed. Your audience couldn't see it. You could have an audience of millions. A tiny fraction could maybe see it. And that's if they came to your page. So don't tell me it wasn't, because we were there. We were in the trenches. We were reporting on it at the time. We know what we saw. We know what you did. Jake, you got caught. Just admit you were incorrect. You're humiliated by it, and you want to move on. Just admit that. I want to know what you guys think about this, so please let me know in the comments. Also, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America on YouTube. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.